Hello, everybody, on a Wednesday recap show. It's 7:20 in the Quest world. Hello, everybody. Of course, I got to look around because you guys won't click on that StreamYard. Click to put Facebook up here, so hold on. Okay, there we be. And of course, on a Wednesday night, Quest Live, we have somebody from Canada on the phone. Here's Judy. Hello, Judy.
Hello, John. Hi, everybody. Good to be here, as always, on a very windy and cold night in Canada.
Yes, Judy, very cold here also in the United States. Hello, Cindy, Michelle, thanks for coming in. Hello, Starlene, Scene, Chuck. You guys can hear Judy okay? Hello, Caroline. Hi, Ashley. Everybody's coming in the house quick today, Judy.
Good, because I haven't picked you up yet.
Yep. Waiting on the delay. Same thing every time. In fact, my internet went off this afternoon for some reason. I don't know. Sometimes the cold weather
Yes.
has some effect on this. And Chuck says Judy's fine. Beautiful.
Good, thank you.
We got to give some hellos to the world here. Everybody's cold.
Mm.
We're going to have to all go to the professor's house for the winter.
I think that'd be a good idea, and he can make us lasagna.
Yep. We don't have to cook or anything. Hello, Stu. Ashley says you sound great, Judy. So, oh my lordy 40, we're all set to go.
Good.
Starlene's my moderator. I think I got Michelle as a moderator too on the YouTube, but she's on Facebook. No, Michelle, you're coming in as Facebook user on StreamYard, Michelle. It's going to be a miserably cold tomorrow and tomorrow night. Mine is 2 windshield, and I got to go to work in the truck. Oh, Michelle.
Oh.
That's your thing showing Facebook user. Luke Rich. Good evening, Ruth from Alberta. There's my main man, Jeff M. Thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks for coming in. Boy, did you have me and Judy working last night?
Sure did, John, didn't we?
And Michelle says, I gave it access 2 times. Who knows? We got to reboot or whatever. Thanks a lot, Michelle. And a lot of show last night. A lot of things to explain last night. And we'll get through it. We'll get through it. And of course, how I start out my program. As you people know, I always got to thank my YouTube membership supporters, the Knights, the Captains, the Marshals, the Senechells. I want to thank David Clore for rejoining. And I got to thank my regulars, the Captains and the Marshals and the Senechells. The higher ups levels that get shout outs is Luke and Jeff and Curtis and Jana and Kelly and Becky and Josh and Annette, Mark and Barbara, Michelle, Sandollar, Renee T, Roxy Mike, Jazz D, Wayne Starlene, and Judy's on the line. I thank you so much for your support, Judy, throughout the year. I thank you.
You're very welcome, John, always.
And of course, the professor, Daniel Spino, for all the extra effort he does to make my group better every week.
And he does.
Also, we still have that. If something inspired you on Oak Island, Renee Tuttle's in charge of that. Send us something you made or you thought of that Oak Island inspired you. We'll put it right in the group. My moderators are Tammy, Judy, Renee, Michelle, Daniel, Starlene, and Kathy. And our Quest lifetime contributor is Chris Dona. Our call-in number, when you see it scrolling on the bottom or posted on the bottom of me, it's 1-323-813-4135. Don't forget to do it in text. One of my mods will tell me you want to call in. Judy will get off. You call in, and Judy will come back. Very simple. I only have a one call per person. Hello, Becky. Yeah, Chuck, it's going to get cold the end of this week. I hear it. I got to make my famous chicken soup. Welcome, my Quest of Oak Island Facebook group members, all my YouTube channel members with that subscribe button. Just hitting that red button. It's free. We're on Twitch as QOOI_. Not many there, but it's just a platform to be noticed. And Anchor Host, Judy, that's just going bonkers on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Overcast, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and all the rest of them, Judy, that are listening to us while they're on their yearly restitution of getting in shape. We're in their ears on the treadmills and in the weight room right now and on their bicycles, Judy.
That is amazing to me, John. I'm glad that they like listening to us, and they can keep doing it.
Yep. It was so funny when that one member of ours PM me and says, John, Judy, yes. Good evening, Kathy. Thanks for coming in. How can I get a video of your audio part? Well, now that we know, Judy, that the video part, when I download it, does go to Spotify. But the rest is just the audio of me and you talking. You know what I mean?
Right, yes. I find it amazing that they will stick with us even though they can't see us.
Yeah, and I told them, I says, well, how are you going to be watching us flying around with your bicycle and watching us on the video side? He says to me, no problem. I said, okay.
Well, more power to him.
I mean, he won't tell us if he say, well, I was watching your podcast and I went off the path and went in the bushes. He won't ever tell us. We'll never know, you know.
Right, exactly.
There you go, Michelle. There you go. There you are, Michelle. I got you some public access. Just did it again. It's showing up now. There you are. Very good. But a lot of show last night from 8 to 10, guys. What did you think about it before Judy gets into her synopsis on drilling down? What did you guys think?
Yeah, I'd like to know, guys. I found drilling down extremely interesting last night. Even though I'd seen a lot of it, it sure reminded us about a lot that has gone on.
Right. And I sort of, in drilling down, like they didn't go after, pounding us with silver in the money pit, gold on this and all that. I loved it on the preserve side, how they restore the island back to normal. And one thing on that, Judy, hi Connie, if they restored Smith's Cove, what does that tell us? Go ahead, think about it.
They're done there, I think.
There you go. Hello, Brian. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, actually, we love behind the scenes, but you got to think of these things. This is how Johnny's brain works. Hello, Professor. Good evening. I think once they preserve the place with all they can go back maybe, but I would say the odds are very low that they're going to go back to a place they just spent all that money to preserve it back to normal. You know, Judy?
I agree 100% on that. I'm sure they're done there.
So Johnny's going to cross out Smith's Cove. It's the first place, in my own opinion, that we're done with Smith's Cove, Judy. So I'm finally getting a cross out Even though they'll say it's ongoing, if I ask them or something, they're done at Smith's Cove. What do you think?
I think we can cross that one off. I'm fairly certain of that.
Michelle says, I didn't get to watch all the show. We got a call and missed most of it. I got a DVR to watch it tonight. Yup. Yup. But if you're listening to Judy's drilling down in my screenshots, they'll just give you some uppities of what to watch for and what to look for. There was a lot last night, Judy. There was a lot.
There was quite a bit, but all of it good for sure. I am so pleased to know that they are doing the planting more trees. That means a lot.
I know. They got to plant about 100 at a time. I don't know about two at a time, but at least it's a start.
Right, exactly.
But they want to show the people that they're not just grazing all the trees down to look. Once they're done with that area, they replant. I love it. And then before Judy comes on, there's one other thing. When Gary Drayton came on, he says, "Oh, I got this new metal detector." Yes. Thank you, Richard. Calm night near Oak Island. This one goes down 5 feet instead of like 12 inches, a shovelful that you always see them picking up the surface fines, Judy.
Right, yes.
I'm saying you're waiting 9 years to finally get a metal detector to go down 5 feet. Now you decide you want to go down 5 feet, not 12 inches. I was sort of scratching my head on that, you know.
As soon as I saw it, I thought, "Oh, John's going to like this one." I agree with you.
You wait 9 years to go and get one that's deeper. I don't know. I mean, if something's down 5 feet, they'd have to bring in a little portable digger. You can't dig 5-foot holes all the time. I understand that part. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Yeah, they would certainly need something different.
And so maybe that's why. I mean, you can have a guy just take out 1 or 2 shovels, but if you find something 5 feet, just mark it with a different flag. You come back with one of them little excavators that they put in small backyards. You know, it's small, and then do them all. You know what I mean? Once Laird gets the permit, you know.
Right, exactly. Let's hope they can do that.
Alrighty, let me bring your picture up, Judy, and we'll start the first synopsis of drilling down once I get you going here. Hold on, Judy.
All righty.
Okay, Judy, your picture's up. They all hear you. When you're ready, go ahead. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you. Well, the guy's drilling down, preserving the hunt. As Rick, Billy, and Maddie look over the refurbished Smith Cove, Rick points out that the fellowship is not only stewards of a great mystery, but also stewards of Oak Island itself. The land has been disturbed by many searchers over the years, and the damage has never been repaired. The fellowship also has damaged the island with all their digging and drilling. They have drilled many holes, large and small, in the Money Pit area, where they have found silver and traces of gold. At Smith Cove, there has been 3 cofferdams built. The first in 1850, the second by Dan Blankenship, and the third by the Fellowship. A large amount of digging uncovered the U-shaped structure, box drains, among other finds. Rick says it's our job to take care of our island, so it is up to us to restore it. Billy has worked hard, bringing in tons of dirt and building a seawall at the cove's edge. As Marty gets into the excavator and moves a rock for the wall into place, Rick reminds us that along with the fellowship, people around the world care about Oak Island, so he wants its beauty restored. Billy's hard work can be seen as the camera scrolls around the cove and we see and feel the peace of Smith Cove. Thank you, Billy. Little things every day can be done, Billy says. Later in the archaeology trailer, Alex, Kelly, and Joan meet with Maddie to show him the work they do there to preserve all of the artifacts found. Alex points out that they can now test the artifacts here right away and determine if they need further testing. Joan pulls out a metal button found on lot 22 and shows him how she cleans the artifacts. She then passes it on to Kelly, who examines it thoroughly, then puts it in the XRF machine to find out what metals are in it. Turns out it is bronze. Laird then points out that each artifact is logged and preserved. You all are doing this exactly right, and I thank you, says Maddie. At the Money Pit area, Maddie meets with Rick, Billy, and Tom to discuss the reason for the woman's memorial. Rick wanted a way to remember the women of Oak Island and all the sacrifices they made. Dan's wife, Jean, gave up her life in Florida and spent the next almost 40 years on the island. Dan planted a flower garden in his yard in her memory every year. We cannot forget the woman who gave so much, Mildred Restall. Not only did she live on the island in a shack with no running water or electricity, really no amenities at all, she also gave the ultimate sacrifice. In 1965, her husband Robert and son Bobby died from gas fumes in a hole they were digging. Let's never forget these women, along with many others. Thank you, Rick, for honoring them all. On Lot 4, the team points out that they often have to remove trees so Gary can metal detect and they can dig. The team has cleaned up old trees and brush and replanted trees in their place. They are planting many new oak trees so the name of the island can be preserved. I like that idea. Alex says this island and these trees will outlast all of us. At the swamp, Maddie is discussing with Rick and Tom the long and sad feud between Dan Blankenship and Tom's dad, Fred Nolan. Rick believes both men wanted to solve the mystery, and each went about it in his own way. Dan concentrated on Smith Cove and the Money Pit area, and Fred spent a lot of time in the swamp, where he found pieces of a ship and believed until his death that there is a ship buried in the muck. He also found Nolan's cross and used it as a starting point for his surveying. In the end, just before their death, the two men came to a truce, and Tom and Dave Blankenship continued the legacy by working together, and Tom became a member of the fellowship. Maddie, Scott, Doug, and Jack stand in front of the refurbished shack that was home to Bobby and Ricky Restall during their years on the island. This is a tribute to the Restall family who gave so much. Overlooking Isaac's Point, Maddie, Rick, and Marty give their final thoughts. Marty says, "We want to leave Oak Island in better condition than when we arrived, but he says, I also want it to be lighter." Rick wants the respect for the island and the people who came before him to continue. Marty believes they are now trending in the right direction. We are poised to solve the mystery. Maddie declares, "Thank you for preserving it all."
Very, very good, Judy. You deserve 3 glasses of water on that. Fantastic report. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, John.
Very good in detail. Unbelievable. As you say it, I see sort of the pictures behind when you're seeing it and saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you. I've had other people tell me that too, and that means a lot. what really means a lot to me is when I hear from people in Europe and over that way
Yeah,
that aren't getting the show yet, and they will say that. I can almost picture it.
I can
So
see
it
it.
makes me feel good.
You know, Judy, I can see it. Your description, I can close my eyes, and as you read it, I can see the shack. I can see Smith's Cove. I can see the boulders. I swear to God, you know, I don't know. I'm getting nuts, I guess, but I like it. You're fantastic in what you do, and I appreciate every word you print.
Thank you very much, and I love doing it.
So now we'll give Judy a water break or a shot of whiskey or whatever she's doing up there in Canada.
It's water tonight.
And I'm going to try to, I downloaded almost 50 screenshots, and I'm trying to put on the drilling down screenshots before the episode screenshots. So if I have some mixed up, oh well, that's my tech brain going numb. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're doing a good job.
All right, let me get Judy off here and see if we can do some photos and screenshots of what you're saying. Everybody's telling you great job as usual. Thank you, Carl. Whoever that is. Carl Sonny.
Thanks, everybody, for the heads up.
All right, ready? Let me remove Judy, and boom, here I come. Boo, here's Johnny. All righty. Now, I'm not sure if this guy was on drilling down or what program it is. So we'll just go picture by picture until I think I'm into the screenshots of the show, Judy,
Okay.
because I can't remember what I did 30 minutes ago. All right, this was Dr. Prafal, the geoscientist, who said there's a lot of gold in a position. And here's where we're saying the water chemistry. Now, I'm not sure if this was on, I think this was on drilling down, but I'm not sure. I can't remember, so I'm going to show you anyways. Where the yellow dots are is gold. And they're looking to go in that F4 position. And then here's where Judy was saying how Billy, I don't know how many tons, I didn't write it down, but they just said, I think they said a lot of ton of rock and fill. And that's how they outline how far the rocks are going to go. You see all those stakes? Do you guys remember those stakes? Let me see if you guys got a good memory. I remember all these colored stakes. Do you?
Yes, I do, John. Now we know what they were for.
And the different colors might be just the bigger the rocks, a smaller rock, a bigger rock. I'm not sure. But I don't know why you need colors on stakes to do a rock wall, but that's just me. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they must have had a reason.
Yep. And we finally found out where they're used, Judy. Did you think of that when you saw this picture?
I did. Yes.
And there's the rock wall that they started for erosion. But I guess they always can move a spot out of the rocks and throw the digger in there, I guess, right?
Yeah, they probably could, but I bet you that they won't do it.
Nah.
It looks so nice. I hate to see them start at it again.
Yep. Let me see if I do this one here. And here's the group. When they first showed it, I says, what do they got all these shovels for? Who knows if they were going to start a new center or a new building or something. That's what through my mind. And then I thought about the preservation. I says, yup, they're going to be planting some trees, Judy. And that's what I thought.
Yeah, I would imagine that's what it was they were doing.
And there's Marty. He's got two big oaks. in that bald spot there. I don't remember the location of this, but planting trees is a good thing, Judy.
Oh, it is. It's just going to be great for the island.
Then they showed pictures of the canopy oaks. Too bad they couldn't get canopy oaks, you know what I mean? For some reason, I don't know.
It would be nice to see some on there, for sure.
You know, I don't know if they're hard to get, or I'm not a tree expert. I just plant them by acorns. That's all I know.
Well, by the looks of the one in your mom and dad's backyard, you did a good job.
And here they are putting one of the two trees in. But then I see three root balls. So they put three trees in. One in the hole where Billy is. And two in back of Steve. See them?
Yes, I do.
So there were three trees they put in.
Wow.
You know me, I got to look at the whole picture, see what the heck I'm talking about. Yep, Michelle, if they're not native to the area, maybe they probably weren't allowed to plant. Yep. Then they showed some of this that Fred Nolan took out of the swamp. Same rat line base showing rope holes on top where the ropes extended to the mast above. No extensive wear of holes from away of the ship causing wear. Above. Section of scooper from old wooden ship found in the bog along with that ratline base in 1976. What bothered us the most is when the curator at the museum on Walter Street told us it was just an old fence. Imagine that, to tell them it's an old fence post and it was actually a scupper from a boat, Judy.
Right, isn't that something? And I think they're proving it now with what they're finding.
You you always got to have, I would say, on this old stuff, two positions of two experts on what the heck this stuff is if you got a scratcher header, you know what I mean?
I think that's a good idea, yes.
Then they looked at the McGinnis Foundation that we have heard a word about. Absolutely zero. And Sam Ball's lot that they dug right out that they showed us last season, and we haven't heard a word about Sam Ball's lot, Judy.
Yeah, not a thing, and that's disappointing.
Well, Linda was wondering where was Fred's items. Well, he had his own museum, and a lot of his stuff was in there, and probably other stuff that was hidden, you know what I mean? They keep that stuff close to the chest, Linda. But
he sure did, didn't he?
yeah, but I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure that Tom Nolan, whatever Fred found, already told the Linginas and the Fellowship. I would say nothing's hold back now. I would assume that, Judy. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah, well, it certainly seems that way. Tom's working with them full time now.
Yep. Hopefully, Tom will share. Sure, everybody wants to solve this thing, and who knows what things people took off the island that are in their personal collection also after all these years, Judy. That's what I wonder,
Yeah, it is something I think about too, because there sure could be a lot of it gone.
Yeah, like you hear these things, like a private collector in California had this painting from Europe in his collection for the last 120 years. Well, how the heck did he get it? You know what I mean?
Right, you do wonder.
So it would go the same with this stuff. If something was found uh, strangely and thought it was worthy to take it. So, and here they are rebuilding the little tool shed that was on Smith's Cove with the black tar paper. That's what they had. No siding, no plywood, no nothing. Just stapled tar paper. Imagine that, Judy, living in that thing.
I cannot, especially in the winter. I just don't know how they did it.
Yeah, like today's real cold. Let's go in the shed. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I'm very thankful for my furnace.
These guys were really tough. You know what I mean? The old timers were tough as nails.
They wear
And I think,
much more than us.
yeah, and I think where they stayed, the mother and the father was part of the 10X building. I think some researchers or searchers took parts of it down, but that's part of the building that the 10X was in, you know, like a roof and a wall or something like that.
Yes, I did read that.
Yeah. And there's the side area. Very simple shed design. But I like that. When the tours finally open up, I hope, I don't know what year, they'll place this in the exact location that it was on Smith's Cove to watch the equipment, you know, until the causeway was there. That's the only way they would get the equipment on and off the island is by the dock out in Smith's Cove, and with a barge boat coming in with your car on there or whatever the heck you had to bring over, Judy.
Right, exactly. Completely different from now.
Yep,
And Bobby was always watching for that.
yep, yep. I'm talking this shed here was partly torn down and partly used their 10X for some kind of cover or something, machinery or something.
Yes.
But imagine that.
I can't imagine it.
Then I think I see the refrigerator outside. I'm going, well, what the heck you need a refrigerator? Just stick it out in the cold. You see that refrigerator off to the right?
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I'm going,
There's another picture of her somewhere where her washing machine is sitting outside.
talking about frozen bed sheets. Oh my lordy 40.
Right. It was an old Ringer washer.
Yep, my grandmother had one of those.
My mom had one.
And this is the shaft that they perished near Smith's Cove. You see the pump on the right. The gases that consumed them. This is another picture of that other where the parents stayed.
Wow.
Me, myself, if I was living there, I wouldn't have a flat roof with all the snow in there. I would just make a little lean-to shed type of roof, you know, that just goes to the backside, real low, but like a ramp on top of your house, you know, like they got in front of the door.
Right, I agree with you. The snow gets heavy.
But that's the times. And this is the thing that Fred Nolan, this shed that the boys were in, that he kept for decades and decades on his property. And Tom donated it to the fellowship to refix up. Yup, Linda. Makes me cold just looking at it. I hear you. And Ashley says, I was hoping to hear more about Samuel Ball. Well, we're going to be 10 episodes in next week. We haven't heard a peep. Plus, we haven't heard a peep about the boatload of silver either.
No, we have not, John. They seem to be concentrating in the swamp and at the money pit.
Yep. And there's the inside of the shed where they took them. I think it was last season or the season before, and they walked inside and he explained where his bunk was, his brother's bunk. And they did just take the rut. They just did take the rut off. They left the 2x4s that were good and just cut the rod off and put new 2x4s there. Go ahead, Judy.
I was going to say, I hope it was insulated at least.
I doubt it. I guess that's the earliest picture of the shed. You see the black tar paper on the outside. So they made it pretty close.
They did, didn't they? Yes.
The door is on. The door looks pretty close. I'll say, the heck with the shed. I'm going to go sleep in that tent. Yeah, right. I have no idea, Tammy. They didn't show us any inside, but I'm pretty sure the first group of tour people that come will have a lot of pictures of that stuff, Tammy?
Yep, I'm sure they will, John. I do remember Ricky telling them what was in it, and they did talk about putting those in. So we'll see, hopefully.
Yeah, like they said, well, this is where the radio was on, a little stand. I remember him saying that.
Yes.
And he couldn't touch the channels. And that's all I remember. After that, I'm blank.
Yeah.
And here they're digging with the big boom. I don't know if I'm getting out of drilling down now, Judy, or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now let me go one more. Yep. We're getting into the episode where they found the planks. And I got something to say once they showed the dirt behind the road. So we're at slide 27. The planks in the swamp. Alrighty. Hold on, guys. Let's get Judy back on. You're all set for your next synopsis, Judy?
I'm ready here.
Alrighty. Hold on, guys. Let me get it going. Alrighty, Judy, your picture's up. I'm in the little square below you. When you're ready, go ahead, Judy.
Thank you. And this is season 9, episode 9, The Unusual Suspect. It's a new day on Oak Island, and Terry and Charles are overseeing the drilling of the 6-inch hole HI4. Terry says we are right in the middle of the shaft 6 area. A tube from 69 to 70 feet down proves to hold pieces of wood along with more stacked timbers. Rick arrives, and Terry informs him he believes they are clipping the edge of a second wall in shaft 6. Rick points out that finding shaft 6 will prove that the story of Oak Island is true, so keep after it. Later that afternoon, in the southernmost area of the swamp, Billy is digging, and Gary tells Marty they have found nothing yet. Marty suggests they go down 3 feet with Gary detecting after each foot. 2 feet down, Gary pulls up a long, pointed, shaped piece of wood, and Marty thinks it could be a survey stake like the ones found last year. At 3 feet down, Gary finds what looks like a beveled-edged piece of ship decking. Let's clean it and test it, Marty says. The following morning, in the war room, Doug presents the team with more evidence he has found that the Portuguese were on Oak Island as early as 1520. They came to fish off the Nova Scotia coast. Since the Portuguese were the first to use cannons on ships, and a piece of a cannon was found on Lot 4, could this be proof they were on the island? Did they find gold and hide it on the island? Did the Portuguese build the stone road? Rick says to Doug, we need more proof to find the truth, so get after it. In the research center, Steve meets with the team to outline the plans for the money pit area. Rick wants to focus on finding shaft 6, so suggests they drill north of holes F2 and F4. Steve says we will drill hole hole F.25-4 in the area where the most silver and gold has been found. On Lot 4, Steve, Jack, and Gary are metal detecting with Gary's large detector, the GPX 5000, that will detect up to 5 feet down. The beeper goes off, and Jack digs up what Gary thinks could be a large metal staple of the kind that would have been used on an old wooden hatch. He dates it from around pre-1830s and bags it for testing. It's morning in the Money Pit area, and Charles and Terry are again overseeing the drilling of a hole, this one F.25-4. At 119 feet down, they hit what looks like backfill, so they have missed their target and will move either east or west. At the swamp, the team continues their hunt for a ship. Gary pulls up what looks like a barrel stave. It will be tested. Gary then spots a short piece of wood that is beveled and shaped to a point. Could it be a ship pin used for raising and lowering sails on a ship? As Billy continues digging, Scott finds a small, strangely shaped piece of wood, and Laird says he has never seen anything like it. Gary points out it looks similar to the T-square found last year. Could all these pieces be connected to a ship? Billy brings up that all these pieces have also been found in the same concentrated area. Later in the war room, Laird, Scott, and Billy show the pieces just found to the team. All agree they don't know what they are, but do think they are ship-related. Tom reminds them that in 1969, when Fred drained the swamp, he found a piece of a mast along with other parts of a ship. Fred believed the swamp was artificially made to hide a large ship. Could it be that today's find prove him right? Stay tuned next week, everyone. And in the meantime, stay safe, please.
Thank you very much, ×2, Judy. Very, very good synopsis. Very good.
Thank you, John.
Also, members, these will be posted in our Facebook Quest group so you can read them. I get so busy, I don't even know if I can do the video over, but if I have the video for audio, I will post those also. But the hard copy of text of Drilling Down and her synopsis will be posted later this evening. I thank you so much, Judy.
You're welcome, John. Enjoy it, everybody.
All right, let's get back to our screenshots here. Removing Judy. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, here at the swamp, this is where Gary pulled out these two beveled pieces of wood. Now, you guys see wood. I see wood and something else. What do you guys see?
Well, you got me on that one.
I'm going to see if you're starting to think like Johnny's brain here. For 9 years. Okay, it's pieces of wood. But what else do you guys see? Nope, not a ship. Already? I see sand, okay? Now,
okay.
Now, when I see sand on wood, that means there's a beach. When I think there's a beach, that means before the road was built, we'll know how far the beach went in to the man-made swamp many years ago because the sea level was 6 feet lower. So in my mind, I want to see the beach because at the end of the beach, was there a muck pond after the beach at this time? So in the sand, maybe these pieces of wood with dates on it can tell us actually when the road wasn't there and the beach was. Even though when the road isn't there, Judy, tons of debris were going in this area. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly, John. That's a good idea. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Hello, Pirate. Thanks, thanks for coming in, Pirate. Thanks for showing up. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do understand what you're saying.
Look at all this sand. It's not gravel. It's not dirt. It's a beach. See what I'm saying?
Yes, I've got you.
So the
Well,
swamp.
if they could find out the date on that, John, and give us an idea when the road was built, it would sure be great.
But like I said, debris coming into that swamp. Not sure if that would be a accurate place and time of when the beach was there. They'll show us the date of the wood, but that wood could have come out of anywhere. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha. Yes.
So that's what my mind went through. We're always seeing wood, but you guys always got to look not deep like I look. Okay, that's a piece of wood. Well, what's on the wood? What's around the wood? Where are they digging? Is the dirt different? Is it muddy? Is it mucky? Is it full of roots? Is it full of rocks? And now this is the first time I know we're into sand like this here. Guys, remember Smith's Cove? How much sand did we see? Nothing.
That's true.
And
I
we
had not thought.
and we dug up all around Smith's Cove. I never saw this much sand in Smith's Cove. A lot of a lot of rocks, hard gravel, stones, dirt. There may be some, but not this deep. So at least we got a beach here, and maybe they can give us more information on how long ago the beach was there. I guess Billy was saying he was finding these things 2 to 3 feet deep. I remember in the war room because when Marty asked him, he was only 2 to 3 feet deep. Judy, I'll have to look that up.
Yes. Yeah, he did say that.
And the water was 6 foot below where it is now. Now you can tell the difference of the gravel and the dirt behind Gary, the light sand right there, then in front of his metal detector, it goes back to dark. See what I'm saying?
Yes, can see it clearly.
And what makes sand in a beach? All the erosion coming in and out of the bay, in and out, tides in and out. But they never mentioned it, so I'm mentioning it. I don't think it's blue clay. I think it's regular sand. Blue clay will have all that other texture, Linda. You know what I mean?
Yes, I thought that too when Linda said it. But Linda likes her blue clay, I think.
Yep, the plug. We got Kathy the hook and Linda the plug. Could be, Starling. Without the road there, the original shoreline, way back when. How far off the road? Pretty good. You know what I mean, Judy? It's pretty good off the road.
Right, yes. It is now, yes.
We're way ahead of the swamp. So that's what I look at. I try to look at everything different, Judy.
And you always do, John. You never let us down.
Then the Azores, Portugal, how they were coming over. These cannon or shots from the cannon thing from the Portuguese ships. Case on E5 25 spoils. And from that one they just found right on the top of the land. That was kind of weird, Judy.
It was right on the surface. It was like it was waiting for them.
Yeah. They can even almost kick it, you know what I mean? What the heck is this thing? And there it is. They just picked it out, you know what I mean?
Right. So what brought it up to the surface? You can't help but wonder.
Who knows? Yeah, I wonder what the geologist said about it, but we'll never know, Elaine. Get them out of that money pit and just determine what the heck was going on at the swamp with the beach, after the road, get some ideas. But maybe it's coming in episodes. We don't know. We're just going by what they show us and dissecting what they're showing us, you know, guys?
Right, exactly. And now we know, John, after the last 2 weeks with drilling down, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Yep. Yep. And this is how they traveled from Portugal, Newfoundland, Cape Breton, around Africa. They're all over the place, Judy.
It's amazing when you think what they were traveling in.
Yep. Unreal. You know, there was no, like they said, Weather Channel. They just went out and you hit 150 mile an hour hurricane or something. Well, goodbye.
Yep, then you're done.
Great winds for the sails, I guess, but otherwise, forget it.
Right, I wouldn't want to be on that ship for sure.
That's how they traveled. So who knows? Digging Down's giving us more details. I agree with that, Elaine. And then if they were heading up from the Caribbean, they would make a right-hand turn to the Azores to go to Spain, Judy. But if there was a big storm, they had to go somewhere.
Right.
Well, how did they know where to turn? How did they know the storm was coming at them or going away from them? I have no idea in that year. You know what I mean?
I don't either, John.
All my luck, I would turn right into it, you know?
Yeah, mine too, I'm sure.
You know, in those days, well, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's pitch black here in the ocean. Boys, get your rum because we're in trouble. Yep, Daniel the Professor, they use the Gulf Stream with their voyages to North America and back. Yep. But to know what's ahead of you, okay, you read the stars like Chris the Starman said. But to turn away from a storm or to run into a storm, I have no idea how they would know that. Maybe the wave action? I don't know. I'm not a boatman. Yep, Tammy. So maybe they did stop in Nova Scotia, repair their ships from the storm, hide some loot, bring the rest to Spain. I'll come back and get my loot after I retire, type of deal, you know, Judy?
Right. And that's certainly a big possibility.
How they say, fudge the books, fudge the log, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes. And we do know that the Portuguese did come to the Nova Scotia shore to fish as well.
Yep. Yep. Then I forgot what Doug called this on this map. A place to hide or something. That sort of is like, he said, an outline of Mahone Bay.
Yes, he did.
That little red, you see that little red outline of
Yes.
that bay? So wherever this map came from, I have no idea. And Daniel says, I don't believe they buried gold. They had a colony in the area, mining and fishing.
Okay, Daniel.
Mining what? And there's the professor's statement. A place of refuge, says the pirate man. Yep. Of all places to stop over. You know, especially if it was in the winter. Well, let's stop here and relax. Big winter storm hits you.
I suppose you get into Mahone Bay, though it was safer than most of the other areas.
Yeah, but they must know if they came here, Judy and Professor, when was the great season to leave Spain to get to these areas? You know, they must know we're not going there because we won't get there for 3 months or wherever how long it took to get there. And they knew it was wintertime there. You know what I mean? They had to have that kind of knowledge also, you know?
Right. Yes, they wouldn't want to hit that in the wintertime.
Right. So they obviously did their voyages seasonal, I would say.
Right.
Not the first couple of guys that froze to death or whatever, but the voyages that they learned from.
Daniel says they may have found gold and silver, and they were on Oak Island.
The professor. And here's where they're looking at that F4. Remember, guys, F4 was the spot where they found the most gold and silver concentration. And how big are these squares, people? This is your teaching lessons. How many feet are each one of these squares?
Come on, everybody. You do it. I do it every time. What's the answer?
Blank by blank by blank. Five by five, Tammy says. Correcto mundo. 5 by 5 by 5 by 5.
Thank you, Tammy.
There's just showing you where F4 is, where they found the most concentration. And I think that is going towards the women's monument. The professor, there's evidence they were on the island. There has been any identified as native to the Azores that were discovered by the Great Oak Island researcher Paul Rakowski. Okay. So this is just giving you a overhead view of going to F4. And they think F4 could have went down on the drill test hole into the tunnel that collapsed, and that's why they're getting the higher concentration of gold and silver. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right. Okay, John. Got ya.
So this is what they're thinking when the money pit blew out and collapsed. It blew out towards shaft 6, and when they drilled F4 and they tested the water there, Dr. Spooner, silver, because this is where the highest concentration of the minerals in the test were coming from. So they think maybe that's the debris field, but I have no idea. My own personal opinion.
Let's hope it is.
And this is where they're going to put that other new hole. He's about halfway, so 2.5. You know, if it's 5 feet, halfway is 2.5. Right where the cross is there. I like it that they got the GPS. Then the professor, also possible, Pedro Stone was found, which the Portuguese used. Pedro Stone. I have no idea what that is. Learning something every day, Judy.
Yeah, you sure do. And Daniel does have a write-up on our page about that stone. And I did read it quickly today, and now I can't remember what it said. Sorry, Daniel, I was doing synopsis too.
Did he post this Sunday or today?
Today, I think.
Oh, we're so busy today, Judy, that I didn't even look at the group, to tell you the truth.
Right.
We bad.
Yeah, Wednesday's a busy day.
We bad, Daniel. We bad. It was a marker that showed Portuguese land. Okay.
Okay, now I remember. Thanks, Daniel.
Got a lot of reading up to do, Judy. And then again, when I said earlier in the podcast, he finally decides to get a metal detector that goes 5 feet, not a shovel's width. But he waited 10 years. But we still got that other thing he used. He said it can go down to 40 feet, Judy.
Right, yes. Not seen it again.
But I understand if you find something 5 feet, like I told you in the beginning of the podcast, you'd have to get a digger there, a small automated digger, and just mark them that they're 5 feet. And of course, you're not going to dig out every 5-foot hole. Rick will pass out. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Caroline, haven't seen any living creatures in any of the underground waterways. No, like somebody posted, well, how come I don't see no frogs? Well, I don't know. There's got to be something in the swamp. You know what I mean? Or if it's that
I would
toxic.
think so.
If it's that toxic, you know what I mean? Who knows? But I never saw a frog hopping. We know we got fox. We know we got deer. So there's animals all over the place on there, Caroline. You know, Judy?
Right, yes. Yeah, some of the people that put on pictures that they have taken on the island or going to the island, it shows deer.
And there's that big metal detector he's got for the 5-foot finds or the surface finds. But I just can't understand their ideas why they wait 9 years to get things like this here. You know what I mean, Judy? It just stumps my brain. It stumps Johnny's brain.
Don't get it either. Daniel says the ant was most likely carried on corkwood from Portugal.
We did have a stump that floated in the swamp, corkwood.
Yes.
Haven't heard a thing. It's in the archive someplace in my 6 years of photos. I don't know how far the photos go back in my group, but there's got to be how many photos in my group, Judy? I don't know.
Oh, we couldn't begin to count them.
No. We'll have to put in the search bar, Judy. We'll put in the search bar on Facebook, Quest of Oak Island, cork stump. Maybe it'll come up. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
But I got to remember to do it, you know, because I'm losing my mind sometimes, and I don't forget to do things if I don't write it down.
Yep. Know the feeling.
And there's a piece of metal that he says is a big staple. Now, how do you get a big staple out of this? I have no idea. Where's my man, Carmen?
Yes. I hope they show it to him.
No. Because on Beyond Oak Island, he said a piece of thing he found on the beach was a silver coin, and the guy said it was a piece of rust when he brought it to the museum in Florida. So he's good, but I don't know if this is a staple.
Mistakes like the rest of us.
Yep. Because I know it's broken off on the bottom. But oh my lordy forty. A hatch, it could be used on a hatch. That thing could be used on anything. Especially if you're talking about a boat or a sailing ship. Everything was big.
Right. Exactly.
Then this other spike, this wooden spike that was feathered down to a point, I thought maybe it was something that the sail rope was tied onto, Judy.
Yes, that's what they said.
Then this other piece that looked like the same, almost as that tool, because the rope Made a groove on top. Hello, Gastivo. From Brazil.
Hi, Brazil. Wow.
Hi, folks. I think as a Brazilian, very difficult that the Portuguese got gold in the early years of Brazil, discovered in 1500. Spaniards, by the Trato de Torres, divided the whole South America in two. Very good, Gustavo. Welcome back. Hello, Jazz Dia. Thanks for coming in. And Scott says, it looks like it got split vertically. Yeah. Like if you put these two pieces together, it looks like it would be like a small hub that they would tie the rope on the deck of a ship. What do you guys think?
Well, I think it's very possible. It certainly looks like a rope has rubbed on it on the other side.
But think of this piece, Judy. Make another piece like this here and put it on that flat part. And if you put it vertical, it looks like a hub with a groove on top that the rope would be tied on.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about, guys out there?
Yeah, I do, John. And I think you're quite right.
See what I'm saying? Not that it looks like a shoehorn, but I'm just saying, you're talking sailing ships, you're talking ropes, and they got a ton of ropes on these ships, Judy, that the year we're talking about.
Oh, there would be, for sure.
Ashley. I'm with Marty. It looks like it came off a piece of furniture. We got to put it all in there. Or it could be part of the wharf, like Elaine says. But like Scott says, you can see the worn mark on top of the knob there that, it's like a 3/4 inch rope burn. Not rope burn, but it wore out the wood right there going back and forth. But who knows?
Yes, it's sure like that. Yeah.
That's my own personal opinion.
And I think it was Tom brought that up too, that it looked the same to him, like it had been rubbed by a rope.
The flatness of the back makes it seem it would almost lay flat against something, maybe something decorative. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Everybody has their own opinion. But how would a rope go around something that was flat? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
The pirate, my first thought, a piece of a chair or something. Yeah, well, they can find out piece by piece.
I hope they show it to Carmen, because I'll bet you he knows.
Well, this is the wood they found in the swamp. This is that 600 AD railing. I guess when it's in the bacteria, non-bacteria muck, things last forever. How can this board, look at this board,
Yeah, it looks so good, doesn't it?
be 600 AD?
Do you notice now, at least that both shows last night, when they referred to that, they said 700 now instead of 600.
Between 600 and 700, I think they said.
Okay.
Yeah. I have no idea, Professor. And guess what, guys? Our 50 screenshots, what I'll post on our Facebook group, Quest of Oak Island, and all the screenshots I did Tuesday night pre-show will be all posted for you guys to look at. I don't know if I can discuss each photograph on what it is, because I go to my live show and I just don't want to repeat everything that it is. So if people look at the pictures, I hope they saw the live show. If not, if you question one photograph that's on or a screenshot, give me some time and I'll get back to you.
we'll try and help out, John. Help each other.
Right. You know what I mean, Judy, right? When I post these photographs,
Yeah.
like the 30th photograph, John, what's this? You know what I mean?
Right.
So even if the
So we
mods,
can help.
yeah,
Yeah.
even if the mods can help me out there, because I just love photographs, Judy. I just love photographs.
Yes, you do.
All right, we'll put the phone
And
number on.
it's good, John, because then we get the picture what we're talking about, and that helps.
Yep. Could be, Tim. Ship layout of the 1500s. Yep. Yep. Just put the phone number up for a minute or so if somebody wants to call in and talk for 5-10 minutes. I usually try to keep the shows about an hour, 20 minutes, a little bit longer when they give us a double whammy, Judy. Usually I like my shows about an hour long. I think that's long enough.
Yeah, I think it's good, John. And I think we'll be back to normal next week with one show.
Yep, they showed the drill rig blowing out all kinds of water, so there was pressure in whatever hole they dug, because usually they don't get a geyser of water coming out of the hole they dug, or drilled, I mean. And beyond Oak Island was just basically Marty, Maddie, and Rick going to Gary's house in Florida, going to the beach and metal detecting, and then going out to lunch to see another treasure hunter that showed him an 80-pound bar of silver and some gold that he used to be partners with Mel Fisher. And if you guys don't know who Mel Fisher is, he's a big treasure hunter down in Florida that finds all those Spanish gold bars and gold coins and doubloons and everything, Judy.
Yeah, I've seen some documentaries with him on it.
Yep, he's the treasure hunter salvager in Florida, Mel Fisher. I don't know if he's still alive or anything. I'll watch a couple here and there, but I don't keep track of what's going on lately.
Jamie Alexander is with us. Hi, Jamie. She says she's late. You're never late.
Yep, Jamie wants to buy a metal detector. A lot of people got metal detectors. You find a lot of bottle caps and nails. But you never know. You can find somebody's ring or somebody's gold ring or whatever. You never know. It's a good hobby.
Gary certainly finds a lot of rings.
Yep, it's a very good hobby. And if you got to walk or got to exercise for your health, well, you get a metal detector, go in the park and start walking. And plus, you can find something. Maybe you can find a quarter or something. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. Make it worthwhile.
Wait a minute, Kathy. Wait a minute. You have a gold coin found by Mel Fisher. Okay, Hook, don't give us a hook. Spill the beans, sir. Right, Judy? She's got to tell us the story.
Yeah, come on, Kathy. You should call in and tell us.
Oh, my lordy. Unbelievable.
Bill says the detectors are great for finding wayward arrows after target practice.
Yep, Bill. Yep. Don't go near a shooting range with your metal detector. That's all you'll find is the spent shells and bullets all day long. Right? Stay away from garbage dumps and, well, who knows? Maybe that's a hot spot. People throw things out, and who the heck knows, you know?
Yeah, just never know what's there. But I think the beaches in Florida are the best place.
Oh, yeah, like Gary says, when they have them hurricanes and when them ships crashed into the coral, they said they exploded. So if a ship full of treasure hits the reef and all the stones and just falls apart during a hurricane, during 130-mile-an-hour winds, you imagine how high the waves are?
Oh, can't even imagine.
And boom, all those waves and wind got all those coins and silver and everything, no matter how much they weighed, and threw it all over the place, miles and miles and miles. That treasure of 1715, Gary says, they only recovered about 70% of it, and that was it. Then the Spaniards said, well, that's about all we can recover. So there's still 20 to 30% still out there, but it's scattered so wide because of the storms. It's just so hard to detect. You know what I mean?
Yes, and he said that amount today would be worth in the billions.
Yeah, yeah. Kathy says, I bought it in Key West. I have the paperwork on it. I'll take a photo and post it. Very,
Please.
very good.
Please, Kathy.
Yep, the seismic charges, when they set them off in the swamp, you get a lot of those hits. I hear you. I hear you. But it's got to be TV worthy also. I mean, they're going to show us. They showed us a couple of things. He found a sign in a bottle cap and a flip cap off a soda can, just to show you that there is junk that he's picking up. I think they showed that about 2 weeks ago, Judy.
Yes, and they're not going to show us all of that for sure.
No, it's not TV worthy.
Well, I think it's amazing that Gary has made his living doing this, and obviously he's done very well. I wished I had his patience.
Yep, I hear you. Well, like I said, I'll be on Tuesday pre-show, regular time then, 7:15, 7:30 pre-show Tuesday. Judy will be with me Wednesday night, 7:30, 7:15 to do the synopsis and be with me next Wednesday night. Any preview, I got the latest preview up on Facebook, YouTube, obviously telling you about the drill that was shooting all kinds of water through it when they went down to a certain depth. That shows there was pressure, that it was a sealed chamber. That's why the water came up through the drill, Judy.
Yes, I'm anxious to find out what happens.
So, Judy, if you want to say your goodbyes, and then I'll say my goodbyes, and we'll get out of here.
All right. Hey, everybody, thank you again for the encouragement. As always, I love doing the synopsis, and I'll be doing them as long as John will let me. And I want you to have a good week. I will see you next Wednesday night. And in the meantime, stay safe, please. Good night, John.
Thank you so much, Judy. We'll be talking to you later.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now, don't forget, people, please join the StreamYard so they can have your profile and your picture, because they got a random generator that I can give away things, mugs and t-shirts. It'll just take your chat, no Facebook user, just your chat. If I put down, write this, Quest Mugs, everybody that writes down Quest Mugs goes into this random generator with your picture and your name, and it shows the winner after it goes through all the names. It will only work on StreamYard. So if you haven't let them use your profile or name, that's all they take, you'll be out of luck. Again, thank you for coming in tonight. I thought it was a great show yesterday. A lot of information. The synopsis and the drilling down synopsis will be printed later on tonight for you guys to read. I thank you so much for joining me. But remember, members, always go forward. You may get a setback, but just believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams, but never give up. Never. You keep smiling, you be kind, for tomorrow was never given. Never. So stay strong, stay positive. You guys stay safe with this COVID going crazy again. Thank you for joining me tonight. You'll see me Tuesday pre-show, 7:15, 7:30. Anything else comes up, I'll post it for you. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you, and take care. Bye-bye now.